So my name is Joselin Mane, and the way I got into this whole can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Do I need this thing? Is this being recorded for whatever? I'm not gonna. So the way I got started with this whole social media world is internet marketing, which is pretty much SEO, how to best leverage the internet to get visibility in a very efficient way. So last year I did a presentation, and what I wanted to do with this presentation is give you the difference between what I covered last year and what's new for this year. So one of the first things that I talked about, and last year was, I broke it down into SEO, search, engineering, and optimization. So last year the big thing was universal search. How many people are familiar with what universal search is? Oh, very few, so I can make it up. This is great. So anyway, what universal search was Google's attempt to embed other forms of media other than websites. So as you notice here, these are video embedded into the timeline. We pretty much got used to that. And as you see here, this Flickr was embedded in there. So they realized that social media sites were getting that much more traffic, and they wanted to become more relevant to the people that were searching. You've also seen sometimes that a Twitter feed will come up based on, again, on the keyword. Again, just so that you wouldn't get the same Wikipedia ads all the time, you get something that's more relevant. And because there was more content being generated, more user content being generated on a continuous basis, they wanted to, Google and search engines wanted to provide that feedback or content to you directly. So what new phenomenon within search, in particular with Google, just came out within the last couple of months? Can anyone name what that is? What's different about searching in, say, Google right now? Instant. So this is the new way things are happening. So as you start typing, information starts being displayed. Now this becomes important because now you could leverage the same information to tag your videos. And we'll go into why this is very important. So not only, and it's interesting because in this new format, this same video was appeared here last year, and it's still coming up in the search engines. But not only do you get that, you get hints of, again, what to name the title of your video, because it's giving you often search terms, as well as ways to dissect that same media or the type of content you want to receive. So if you want to see various types of content, before it was hidden up here, Google has made it that much more relevant. Now you can search by source type. If you click on videos, it lets you know the size of the video that you're looking for. If you're searching for pictures, it actually lets you know the color and all those types of things. But once you create a video, one of the biggest things that you have to consider is that until now, there is no real way to determine what's inside the video. So you can name the video pretty much anything initially, and then Google will figure out if it's relevant or not. So you have a certain time period where you can name it anything and Google will find it. You're not going to name it anything kind of foolish in the long run because Google is going to remove it. But when you're creating videos, be very cautious of its title, because that's what Google is using to bring it up on these search engine results. So if you notice social media, the names here, you could barely see it, but you see social media, and if you actually zoomed in closer, you'll notice that those things are in bold, because that's what Google is using to kind of index those videos. Does that make sense? So, social media, I just did a basic search on social media. But you could do pretty much anything. But again, the longer the search term, the more niche it becomes. Social media is such a broad term, it's probably hard to get indexed there. But you might want to say, okay, social media icons, social media marketing, maybe you want to get in there. That's what's considered like the long tail. So the longer you make that, the more precise or the more determined a searcher in Google is to find you. So don't be afraid to give it a little bit longer of a name, because you're going to get much more qualified traffic to your video the more you do so. Does that make sense? So it's harder to get ranked for things that are smaller, like 1 word or 2 words. But once you get 3 or 4 words in there, then you get a lot more selective with the people that are looking for you. So the engine, the technology, back then, July '09, there was this experimentation between Google Voice and text. So basically what they did is during the election, they actually put up all the candidates' videos and allow people to search the content of the video so that you could actually search for the candidates and what they were talking about. I think this is economy, and it, you know, you could actually do a search for all the videos, and anytime they reference those series of words, it would find where in the video it was referenced, which is very innovative. That didn't go too far. They're still kind of experimenting with that. But one of the things that you're seeing, even though it came out in, oh wait, the closed captions, now what's being tested is this thing called transcribe and translate. So then now you upload your video and it's now being transcribed, and the transcription appears down below. Now this is important because this person is deaf. So now you can still upload a video and still attract a whole new audience that wasn't in the past able to absorb your content, because then now they could read the information. Also, different languages. I mean, because of the quality of the screen, you can't see it, but there's a variety of different languages that are now your videos being converted into. Now, this isn't yet hit the SEO realm, but this is where the movement is. The next step is to take that and start indexing that information. But now, this type of technology is very important to kind of be aware of. You know, and this stuff is happening automatically. So if ever you're looking at one of the YouTube videos, you can click on this CC, and then you see all this information appear. And there's different settings and things like that that you could set. And you have to enable that as a content creator. So the next component is optimization. These are very important stats, especially when you go to creating video. So when you think about the length, I wanted to highlight one thing in particular that was referenced earlier today. Chris Penn brought it up. The average commute time is 20 minutes. Now, why is this important? How many people have heard of TED, the conference called TED? A lot of people frowned upon the fact that these people, TED, was putting up all these videos for free. They said, how are you going to make any money now that you're putting all these videos of the content you create? They actually charge more for TED now because of the videos that they have online for free. Now, even though they are videos, they're generally about 20 minutes in length, and what people have done is that they actually listen to the video as a podcast because they have this 20-minute commute time. So they've taken something that's in video format and they reduced this to this audio format that makes this content that much more digestible. So think about that when you're creating a series of videos, that you can actually output that video to this 20-minute format, put it in iTunes, and you have a whole new set or a whole new audience that might see you. And again, because it's now in two formats, the likelihood of people finding you via SEO is that much higher. Does that make sense? So these are just some quick guidelines in regards to the size. And here's some very important information. Again, because at this time there is no way for Google or search engines to actually know what's inside the video, it's so important that you use these elements to describe your video, because that's what's going to get indexed and that's what's going to get ranked. Also, don't forget to put old school website and phone numbers if that's relative to your to the content that you're creating. Saying you're creating content for a local store, a brick and mortar store, put the phone number of the store, not only in the video but also in the description of the video. Put the entire web address, the HTTP : // because then that becomes clickable in the description of the video. So you make it easy for people to actually go and find you. So what has changed between 2009 and now? Nothing. This information still hasn't changed. You still use the same information. You can go home now, because this is really important. Again, because there's still not a way for Google to really digest the 9 hours of content that are uploaded to YouTube every minute. The processing power to do that is intense. So these are still the fundamentals. Now, you might ask yourself, okay, if I go to Google and I look at the list of the videos that are most seen, it almost violates everything that's here. Because here, you're finding people that the name of the video has nothing to do with what they're talking about sometimes. So why the hell is that? So the reason that is because these people here are using this. The quality of the content plus the relationship they've established with the subscriber base supersedes SEO every day. Why? Because once the video has been uploaded, their subscribers get it first in an email or some type of notification, and then they immediately go and watch the video. And I looked at the stats. In order to qualify to be in the top 100, your video needs to be seen at least 40,000 times within a 72-hour time period. So you need to have a big subscriber base for that to occur. So this is the long tail. This is really if you want to get established and getting within YouTube. YouTube's the second biggest like search engine really, outside of Google, but it's owned by Google, so it's like the same company. So this is really the long tail, establishing, if you have a series of videos, a relationship with the subscriber base, which is very parallel to social media in general. You have a relationship where we meet in real life. You like me, you don't like me, but when you see something, you have some context to the tweet. You're most likely going to forward that along because we've already met. We have that relationship. So in lieu of meeting every single person individually, the subscription becomes very important. So subscribers essentially means views. Now the subscriber base, critical, does not necessarily have to reside in YouTube. Steve probably gets a lot of people viewing his stuff from his blog, and then they become subscribed, or they might not subscribe, but they might subscribe to his blog, or they might follow him on Twitter, or Facebook, or LinkedIn, or any other 3,000 different social media sites. That's going to increase the views, and that's going to supersede SEO all the time. Also, thumbnails supersede titles, right? Because this video right here, this sweat is sexy thing, most people are going to click on that video because of the thumbnail. Obviously, because they're going to see this person with big boobs. Oh, okay, great. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is, right? That's just human nature. So, as a matter of fact, that person, that channel has the number 9th top viewed video as well, with the same kind of provocative picture. So it's really something to think about. When it comes down to optimization, you could go the traditional route, which is from B2B. If you're doing something B2B, all the stuff that I spoke about comes into play. If you're doing some B2C stuff, this is really what you have to establish, is the relationship with the subscribers. Making sure that you're giving them good quality content, and at the end of the day, if Google goes down, you still have those subscribers. So subscribers, think about them like email subscribers or anything else that you are growing, you're following from Twitter, so on and so forth. So that's very important to know, and that is it.
You go back one?